Hello, amazing entrepreneur. It's Tash Corbin here, and welcome to another episode of the Heart-Centered Business Podcast. This is episode number 202, which means you can find all the relevant links and show notes over at tashcorbin.com/202. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you how to be magnetic to your leads and clients. So let's jump in because this one is super juicy. I'm Tash Corbin and this is the Heart-Centered Business Podcast. In this day and age, particularly with this whole feeling of haves and have-nots on social media, the cool kids versus the not cool kids, it could be very easy for us to assume that magnetism or being attractive to your ideal client is something that some people have and some people don't. But speaking from experience, I can tell you that being magnetic to your ideal clients and leads doesn't come down to some random innate quality that you have. There are actually actions and strategies that you can use to be more magnetic to the right people. And in this podcast episode, I'm going to share with you 5 of those strategies. And I've even got myself a very dodgy but very cool magnet metaphor that perfectly aligns and demonstrates how you can be more magnetic in your business. So let's do that, shall we? Now, number 1 is magnets are polarizing. So magnets have a north and south. They have a positive and a negative. And when it comes to you showing up in your business, you need to reconcile yourself with the fact that not everyone is going to love you. And that when you share your deeply resonant messaging and what you have to share from the heart, some people still won't like it. And some people will actively dislike it. There are people out there who hate Oprah. I don't understand it, but there are. There are people out there who hate Adele. I don't understand it, but there are. And the thing that those two ladies have in common is that they deeply connect with their true belief system and what they have to share and what they're willing to do and what they're not willing to do. And they go and share it unapologetically. And they aren't on Facebook reading all the negative reviews of them. They aren't going, oh, that person didn't like that song. I'm not going to release another song again until I get it right. That's not how you become magnetic. You become magnetic by actually deeply standing in your power about the message that you have to share and your belief system, and understanding and accepting that not everyone is going to love you. Now, being polarizing is sometimes used in not so great ways. And what I mean by that is, for example, being a jerk on purpose or swearing a lot because you want to drive away people who don't like swearing, or doing other things that are purposefully controversial when it's not actually something that's particularly important to you. So I actually had a conversation with someone about this at an event recently, and she was saying that she's not really that big of a swearer and she doesn't really care about swearing, but that she swears a lot on her podcast because it drives away people who don't like swearing, and then that therefore niches her down. And I was like, but if it's not important to you, why are you polarizing people on it? I've also know that there are people out there who teach this as a strategy, like purposefully choose a popular belief in your niche and then argue against it. And sometimes it's done as a clickbaity thing, and sometimes it's done as a polarizing thing. And I just think, like, that's actually stepping out of alignment. So I'm not saying like be a jerk or purposefully go out there and criticize something that's popular or whatever it might be if you don't believe in those things. Just be really clear on what you do believe in and what you do stand for. And if there is something out there that you see happening a lot or you see people talking about and you deeply and profoundly disagree with it, don't be afraid to talk about it. You will actually repel a bunch of people by doing it, but that's what magnets do. And so when you polarize, you will repel those who aren't your ideal clients and you will magnetize those who are. So be really clear about who you are, what you stand for. Do some reflection on what are the beliefs that actually you hold near and dear, and start speaking about those more consistently and knowing that some people aren't going to like it. Now, when it comes to getting haters or people unfollowing you or unsubscribing, it's all just part of what we call in the Takeoff program business bingo, right? We actually have like bingo things that you check off when they happen to you in your business because they are part and parcel of being an entrepreneur. That includes people sending you messages saying you're stupid, people hating on you, people unfollowing you, people, I learned this new term on in a recent group that I was in, people hair tossing. Hair tossing is when someone needs to leave your community or unfollow your page or unsubscribe from your mailing list, but they can't just walk out quietly. They have to get up and toss their hair and tell you what you've done wrong before they exit. That is just part of business bingo. It's going to happen. And in fact, it's a sign that you're making it. So celebrate it and check it off. Bingo. Someone hair tossed at me. It's okay. So number 1 is polarize. Number 2 is get stronger. Now, did you know that when you consistently rub a magnet on another magnet in the same direction, it gets stronger? That is so cool, right? Little science lesson in with your podcast episode today. And as an online business owner and as an entrepreneur, we need to get stronger as well. The way we get stronger and actually grow our magnetism is by being consistent and sharing valuable content. That is what magnetizes people towards us. So, it's a bit of a stretch with this magnet metaphor, but it works for me, right? So we want to get stronger and we want to strengthen our magnetism by putting out more consistent, valuable content for our ideal clients. Now, this works in a range of different ways to magnetize people towards you. Number 1, SEO. So when people are Googling things and you've got content that relates to those things, they're going to be more likely to find you. Number 2, shareability. When you create valuable content for your ideal clients, they will share it with other people who need that content as well. And number 3, consistency always trumps flash and crash strategies when it comes to growing your reach and growing your audience. So when I can trust you are going to turn up consistently and you're going to add value consistently to my day, I will consistently follow you and be drawn into grabbing your thing or watching your video. Now, I've had hundreds of people tell me when they are scrolling Facebook and they see those spots, they stop scrolling to watch my video because they know it's going to be valuable to them. That has come from consistency, not one fancy schmancy video that I did once that was of value to them. It was that consistently I have proven my worth and my value in investing their time in watching my videos. So that is something you can achieve as well by aiming to be more consistent and sharing that consistently valuable content as well. So number 2, get stronger, share more content. Number 3, move in closer. So if you've got a ball bearing here, your ideal client, over on the right hand side, and you're here, you're the magnet, and you want to draw that ball bearing towards you, you can do that simply by moving closer and closer and closer. But you don't have to go all the way. You don't have to chase them. You know how sometimes when you use a magnet and you push it too close to something too quickly, it actually pushes the thing away? That is what happens when you race in too far. So don't be aggressive towards your customers and ideal clients, but move a little closer to them. So a great analogy for this is, you may have seen it in the movie Hitch, when Will Smith is talking about the perfect kiss and he says, you come in 90% of the way and you let them come in the other 10%. That is exactly the type of metaphor that I love. What you're doing by moving closer to your ideal clients is saying, hey, look at this magnetic thing that I have here. But they are the ones who get to make the decision about whether they jump on board the U train or not. So move in closer. That things like asking for the sale, consistently talking about your products and services, talking about the way that you serve and help people, and consistently reaching out to your audience and inviting them to engage with you. So things like asking questions in your regular newsletters, sending short emails to your audience to say, hey, just wanted to send a quick email to check in and see, do you still need help with A, B, or C? Let me know. Those types of things are actually moving closer to your audience, but it's still giving them the power to make that last 10% leap. So find ways that you can move closer to your audience and be more present with them without being that overwhelming, jump on in with the kiss and smush all over my face. Don't love it. Thanks. Perfect kiss, come 90% in. All right, number 4 is get out of the box. Magnets, when they're in boxes and shiny packaging, are not particularly effective at attracting iron towards them, are they? So often when we are in business, we feel like we have to have this beautiful shiny packaging. but often that packaging makes you less magnetic. And this has been shown time and time again that people want to buy from other human beings. And #BeHuman, you showing your true self and your flaws and jumping out of your shiny packaging is actually a way that you can magnetize more people towards you. Posts that I share where I'm like doing a ranty Facebook Live on my couch with no makeup on often get better reach than the pretty well presented ones where I'm sitting at my desk. Me sitting at my desk often performs better than those beautifully modeled studio recording sessions. And in fact, I've never done beautifully modeled studio recording sessions because when I see them from mentors that I follow, I don't really like them as much and I don't watch them as much because they look like a perfectly manicured ad. And humans are distrustful of advertising and marketing. So the more you look like a perfectly polished ad, the less magnetic you are. It's so counterintuitive. I know. We come from a long masculine history of admiration marketing, and you need to admire me because I've got it all figured out and I am perfect. But that doesn't work anymore. We are in this age of human to human business, and being more human actually makes you more magnetic. So get out of your perfect packaging from time to time and take off that invisibility cloak because you constantly look like a perfectly manicured ad and start connecting human to human with your ideal clients. You might just find that you become instantly more magnetic. And we see this time and time again. Number 5 is find your true north. So left to its own devices, a magnet will consistently point north. And for us as online business owners and entrepreneurs, finding our true north makes us more magnetic. And when I say find your true north, I'm talking about things like trust your gut, follow your intuition. Stop following people who don't align with your values and what you prioritize. Stop trying to be a cookie cutter model of someone else's business and find your own true north instead. There's actually a really good practical example that I can give you of this from my own business. For a long time, I thought that in order for people to feel like they could trust and buy from me, I needed to have lots and lots of testimonials. But whenever I asked my clients for testimonials and I would go on and share, such and such made $8,000 after just 6 weeks in the takeoff program, it just felt really weird to me and I was really uncomfortable with it. And it wasn't until I was having a conversation actually with a client of mine and I was talking about my discomfort with those types of testimonials and she was talking about it as well. She was in the weight loss space and she said, I don't like sharing my clients before and after photos because when I share it, it's like I'm taking the credit for them. And I've had companies and coaches do that to me and I don't like it when they say, thanks to them, I lost weight because I was the one who did the work. And I felt exactly the same when it comes to client testimonials. Me saying, thanks to me, such and such made $10,000 in 6 weeks, it doesn't actually resonate or feel congruent for me because, yeah, sure, that person might have been in my program or done coaching with me, but they did the freaking work. They're the ones who went out there and got the clients. They're the ones who delivered to their clients. They're the ones who did the marketing. They are the ones who showed up. They are the ones who overcame all the mindset blocks that came up for them and did the work. And so I didn't really enjoy the process or feel aligned with sharing client testimonials, and particularly ones where it was about the money. So instead of getting perfectly polished client testimonials, now what I do is if someone just organically shares their thoughts and feelings about the program, or, oh my gosh, this was amazing. Thank you so much for this part of the program, or this part of the process, or this way that you nurtured me, that I share that in their words onto sales pages and here and there on social media, but I don't share them a lot. And actually, by talking that through with my audience, so many people said, that's why I love you. That's why I still follow you, because you're not claiming all of your clients' successes. And it was such an amazing thing for me. And it simply came from me listening to myself, listening to what felt right for me and what didn't feel right for me. Now, there's a big difference between this is slightly pushing me outside my comfort zone and this just isn't aligned to my values. And it's important that we get good and practice at discerning between the two. But ultimately, if you are feeling like something is not the right fit for you, it's not the right strategy for you, you don't want to behave in that way, trust your instincts and find what is true north for you. And I would also say, don't be afraid to discuss it with your business coach or mentor, because a great business coach or mentor should be able to help you to dig into whether this is a real values misalignment or whether this is actually just a discomfort. And a great business strategist or coach will be able to help you find other strategies or other ways to get the same outcomes and results without having to step out of that feeling of alignment. So this has been a big one for me as I've been working with different business mentors and coaches throughout the year and throughout my years in business. Where something comes up and I feel like it's a values misalignment, I discuss it with my coach immediately. I discuss it with my mentor immediately. And sometimes it has been the reason why I have fired that coach or mentor, because they have just wanted me to blindly keep implementing something that I could see was deeply out of values alignment. Case in point, false scarcity. So I had a coach who wanted me to put a countdown timer on an email that I was sending, even though that countdown timer wasn't real and didn't actually change anything. And so we had this deep conversation about why I wasn't willing to lie in the sales process, and they just wanted me to blindly do it. And so I fired them. I was like, I can't work with you as a mentor if you can't help me keep my conversion rates high without creating false scarcity. And it was such a great eye-opener for me. So if you are, having these thoughts about different business strategies that you're being taught, go and speak about them with the people who are teaching them to you, because they will be able to help you discern between what is a values misalignment versus what is just nudging you outside of your comfort zone. And if it is a values misalignment, they should be able to help you find alternative strategies that feel more aligned for you. Okay, so let me quickly recap those 5 ways to become more magnetic to your ideal clients and leads. Number 1, polarize. Don't be a jerk though. Number 2, get stronger through being consistent. Number 3, move in closer. Remember to ask for the sale. Be present with your audience, but don't go all the way. Don't be gross. Number 4 is get yourself out of that shiny packaging. Get out of the box. And number 5 is find your true north. Really trust your gut and trust your instincts. You're a smart, capable woman. You know exactly what is good for you and what is not good for you. Okay, so they are the 5 ways to be more magnetic. Now, if you are listening along and you're like, this is super juicy, I want to explore these way deeper, I have an entire book that has worksheets in it that is completely free, and you can get it for free as part of listening to this podcast. So all you need to do is go to the show notes at tashcorbin.com/202, and there'll be a link there for you to come and grab my Magnetic Business ebook. And it's not just a book, it's actually got worksheets and exercises that you can do to help you really clarify where you can show up and be more magnetic in your business. As always, if you have any ahas or questions from this episode, come on over to the Heart-Centered Soul-Driven Entrepreneurs Facebook group, use the hashtag #PodcastAha, and let me know that you've been listening to episode 202 and what your questions or light bulb moments or ahas have been. You can also use that hashtag to tell me which of these 5 magnetizing strategies do you need to focus more on in the next few months in your business. It will be lovely for us to continue the conversation. Until next time, I cannot wait to see you shine. Thank you for joining me here on the Heart-Centered Business Podcast. Big love from me, and bye for now. Would you like more tips, tools, and resources to help you grow your heart-centered business? Head to tashcorbin.com today.